All right, so today we're going to do an experiment with a device called a radiometer, which is a device you see in front of you. It looks a lot like a light bulb, but it has components inside that will move. And those components are held up by a very thin piece of metal that has a point on it. So there's not much friction in there, and it's a partial vacuum, meaning there's not a lot of gas or air in there. The paddles, if you notice, there's one on the left side and one on the right side that you can see. So one side of the paddle is black, the other side of the paddle is white. Our challenge today is to do a fair test. And for our experiment, we are going to be shining a light on the black side surface of the paddle for 10 seconds. And I have a stopwatch here, so I will time it. Then we're going to have dependent and independent variables. Our independent variables, we're actually going to test two different things. We're going to see what happens when we shine the flashlight on the black side of the paddle for 10 seconds and then just take the light away and see how long it takes to stop. So the time it takes to stop will be our dependent variable. We're going to do that 3 times. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to test and say, okay, now does it make a difference if instead of just taking the light away, we shine the light onto the white side of the paddle, try to get it to stop that way? Will it stop? Will it not stop? Make a prediction. All right? And again, our independent variable there would be shining the light on the white side of the surface to get it to stop. And then our dependent variable would be the amount of time that it takes for the object to stop. Again, we'll be shining the light on the black paddle to start with for 10 seconds. All right, so here we go. Let's get this started. So for 10 seconds, I'm going to shine the light onto the black side of the paddle, and then we will time how long it takes to stop once I remove the light. As you can see, it's moving quite fast. And there's 10 seconds. So now we're working on collecting evidence for our dependent variable of how long does it take to stop when we remove the light source. So the paddles are still moving. And stop. All right, we're going to say that that was 47 seconds. So your first dependent variable time is 47 seconds. All right, now to make this a fair trial, we have to do this 3 times, so we're going to do it 2 more times. So the light will be on the black side again for 10 seconds, and then we'll take it away and see how long it takes to stop. All right, there's our 10 seconds. And notice there's no contact between the flashlight and the glass on the radiometer. We'll have to figure out later why the thing spins. And again, the time that we're recording now is our dependent variable. The fact that we took the light away is going to be our independent variable. And our constant is, I'm trying to hold the flashlight the same distance away as well as the 10 seconds of light on the black side. All right, now this time it's still moving just barely. And we'll say stop. All right, wow, that was 47 seconds. Okay, so that was trial 2. Now let's do trial 3. So 10 more seconds with the light on the black side. And now, no more light. And then we'll be collecting our time, and this will be our 3rd trial, collecting data for the dependent variable, which is a variable that changes as a result of what we've done, and what we did was shine the light on the black side of the paddle for 10 seconds. And it's still moving. Slowly, but it's definitely slowing down. And stop. All right, this time we had 54 seconds. So when you record out your information, you'll have 54 seconds for the third trial, and you'll want to find an average of those. That way we have a very accurate number as far as how long it takes for our first experiment. Now our second experiment's a little bit different. So we're going to have a new independent variable because remember, when you do a fair trial or an experiment, you can't change two things at one time and have an accurate result. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the same data table, but we're going to have this time where we run the light on the black side of the paddle for 10 seconds again, just like before, so same constant that way, and the same flashlight, same distance away approximately, as best as I can. And then this time we're going to flip over the light to the white side of the paddle and see how long it takes to stop. If it does stop, if it doesn't stop, is it the same time, faster, less time? We'll see what happens. Okay? All right, so here we go. 10 seconds on the black side of the paddle again. Now I will give you a warning. This gets kind of bright when I shine on the white side. And go. All right, so there we go. So now we've got the light on the white side. And we're going to see if we can get it stopped. So if you have issues with flashing lights and things, you definitely do not want to be looking at this. And it's starting to slow down. That is really bright. So it's still slowing down. So again, this is our second experiment using the same materials. We're just changing up our independent variable. The dependent variable is still the same, the amount of time it takes the paddles to stop moving. And you can see it's still moving. It's definitely slowing down. It's still moving. If we end up getting to 2 minutes, I'm just going to stop and say we'll call it 2 minutes. I'm hoping we don't get that far because it seems like it's slowing down pretty good now. Wow, this is really close to 2 minutes. Okay, we just passed the 2 minute mark. Now the question is, do we want to stay in here for the long run? It's almost done. But it looks like it's moving at a fairly constant pace. Doesn't appear to be slowing down anymore, but it doesn't seem to be speeding up either. All right, I guess we'll go for 2.5 minutes. All right, so that was 2.5 minutes. It's still moving very slowly, but we have 2 more trials to do, so we'll see how that goes, because I'm not willing to take your whole time here doing this. So, all right, so we're going to get it going with 10 seconds again, and then we will see how long it takes to stop this time when we shine it onto the white side. Okay, so here we go. And that was interesting. I don't know if you noticed that, but it was actually spinning backwards from what we had it before. All right, so now we're going to flip the light to the white side. So watch out, it's bright. Hopefully we can get it to slow down a little faster this time. We'll see. I thought for sure it was going to slow down around a little after the 1 minute mark, but it just kept going. So this is trial 2. Our independent variable is that we are shining the light onto the white surface this time to try to get it to stop. Our dependent variable is the amount of time it takes for it to actually stop. Well, it's slowing down pretty good, but it's about what it did last time for us. Okay, so we're at the 1 minute mark now, and it really seems like it's slowed down a lot more than it did last time. So we'll see if it'll stop for us now. So it's still going slow, and we're at about 1 minute and 25 seconds right now. Ooh, it looks like it might stop. It's barely moving. It's kind of wiggling. I'm not sure why it's wiggling so much. All right, we're going to say that stopped. Wow, 2 minutes and 1 second. So that was pretty good. But now if you notice, look at that. For some strange reason, it's going backwards again. That's interesting. Huh. All right, let's do our third trial. And here we go. So light on the black side for 10 seconds, and then we'll pull it away and put the light onto the white side. All right, we're going to put it on the white side now. Again, don't look at the light if it's going to cause problems for you. It's really bright. So you use this information to fill in your data table, and then we'll talk about it and process the information and try to come up with some conclusions as to what we've seen and what is actually going on with this. It's definitely slowing down. It's starting to wiggle again like it was. So we're almost to the 2 minute mark. All right, so we've exceeded 2 minutes now. It's just barely moving, but it's wiggling quite a bit if you notice the shadows. All right, we're up to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So it seems like it's acting just like it did on that first trial that we did, because now we're up to 2.5 minutes. We're just going to call it there. So we'll just put 2 minutes down again because it just keeps moving. So now we have to think about, okay, so why might this thing still be moving even though I'm shining the light on the white side? And then when I take the light away, if you notice, see what happens here. I'll put a little light on just so we can see it. And all of a sudden now you notice it suddenly reversed directions on us again. So there's a lot of things to think about with this activity. All right, so that ends our video. I'll let you get your data filled in and we'll talk about it.